Welcome to the Old Time Radio Superman Show. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, adam@adamsweb.us. And once a month, please cast your vote for the show on Podcast Alley. We're going to begin a new and exciting series of more than 3 years of serials, where the serials are either complete or almost complete with just 1 or 2 chapters missing. That runs from 1945 into 1948. We're going to start this a little bit differently. Now, while the serial Dr. Bligh's Confidence Gang is considered complete by collectors, from listening to Superman, I know that that one story often starts in the previous serial. So we're going to play the last part of the serial before Dr. Bligh's Confidence Game. This is the Black Market Part 8, and we'll make this one a double episode. We'll play the Black Market Part 8, and we'll play Dr. Bligh's Confidence Game Part 1. And then on Wednesday, we'll give you Dr. Bligh's Confidence Gang Part 2. Before we do get started, I want to encourage you to check out Tales of the Dim Night if you haven't already. It's available as a Kindle book and in pretty much any ebook format you can think of. It is also soon going to be available as an app for your iPhone or Android phone. So stay tuned for that. Well, let's go ahead and we'll get to our story. I know we've not seen this serial, but this is all bonus. You get to see Superman triumph, and you also get a head start on the next story. So let's go ahead and we'll get into this special double episode.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, present The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Yes, it's Superman who today brings the exciting hunt for buried treasure to a somewhat successful end, unaware that meanwhile, more serious trouble is brewing in Metropolis for his friends. When Pierre, the caretaker of Perry White's old homestead in Maine, admitted to Superman that he was a black market operator and that the 4 dwarfs were his helpers, only part of the mystery in the woods was solved. Then Peter and Paul, the 2 elder dwarfs, confessed that they had stolen a map from White showing where $1 million in English money was supposedly buried, but insisted that the map was in the possession of their brothers Jacob and Esau. Locking the 3 conspirators in a cabin, Superman, in his guise of Clark Kent, led White and Jimmy to a cave near the sea where they found the midget twins Jacob and Esau unconscious. A newly dug hole in the floor of the cave disclosed an ancient rusty treasure chest which was empty. As we continue now, Kent is kneeling anxiously beside the motionless dwarfs, while White and Jimmy stand by nervously. Suddenly, one of the little men moves.
Oh, he's alive.
They're both alive, Jim.
Oh, that's swell.
No, is it? Well, where's the $1 million in gold? The chest's empty. They stole it.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't. They're good dwarfs. Peter and Paul are the bad ones.
They're all bad. If you ask me...
Wait a minute, he's trying to talk.
Where?
Take it easy now. Which one is he, Jim?
I think he's Jacob.
Well, how can you tell? There's like as 2 peas in a pod.
Oh, my head.
Oh, never mind your head. What happened? Where's my treasure?
Oh, treasure? Oh, dear, the treasure. Oh, Esau, don't let him take it. Esau, stop, Salvador, stop.
Huh?
Salvador?
Well, sure, don't you remember? Jacob and Esau told us they were working with a man named Salvador.
Oh, yeah.
What about Salvador, Jacob?
Why, it's Mr. Kent.
That's right.
And Mr. White, Master Olson. Oh, no, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me, oh, please we don't. won't, Jacob.
No, we won't if you tell us the truth. Now, where's my treasure? You found it here, didn't you?
Yes, we...
There, you see, Kent?
Oh, what happened to Esau?
Same thing had happened to you, apparently. He was hit on the head, but he'll be all right. Now, what happened to the treasure?
Salvador. That terrible Salvador did it. He came in just when we dug up all the lovely money. He wanted us to give it to him, but we wouldn't. Then
Just a minute. Where did Salvador go, Jacob?
Where?
Yes.
I don't know. Back to his ship, maybe. Oh, all the lovely money.
What ship?
His fishing schooner.
Kent, we've got to contact the Coast Guard and have this Salvador picked up. He's in the gang, and he's got the treasure.
My $250,000. Hey, where's the telephone?
No, we're miles from a telephone in these woods. That fellow will get away.
No, he won't. You both stay here.
Well, where are you going, Kent? I tell you, there's no telephone within miles.
Don't worry. I've got a little idea. Stay right there now. I'll be back soon.
Oh, Kent, you come back here. You're crazy.
Here we are. Behind these trees will do. Now, out of these clothes in a hurry. If Salvador owns a fishing schooner, he must have headed for it.
And Superman will find him. There we are, all set. Up and away! Now, that's Pirate's Cove down there. And, yes, there is an anchored fishing schooner. Well, I'll just go to... Wait a minute. There's a rowboat going out to the schooner. And a black-bearded man in it. I've got a hunch that's Salvador. Down to that rowboat. Down!
Oh, what the...
You're Salvador, I believe.
Yes, well, who are you? Where'd you come from?
From a certain cave, my friend, where you... Ah, I see you've got a large sack here full of English gold crowns. I'll take that if you don't mind.
No, keep your hands off.
Come on.
No, let me go. You...
Now, here we go. Wait a minute. There aren't 200,000 English pounds in this sack.
So what? Let me go, I said.
Nothing doing. We're going back to the cave. Up and away!
Clutching the terrified black-bearded ruffian under his arm, Superman streaks back to the cave in the woods where he had left Perry White and Jimmy Olsen, only to discover as he lands at the entrance that Salvador, his human cargo, has fainted from sheer fright. Ducking back into the woods, Superman assumes the guise of Clark Kent and again approaches the cave, calling to White and Jimmy.
Chief! Jimmy! Come on out!
Oh, leaping lizards, what's happened?
Come on out and you'll see.
Jehovah. Who's that man on the ground?
Salvador, in person.
Well, where'd you find him?
Never mind that now. I've got some bad news for you, Chief.
The gold. The $1 million. It's gone.
Oh, no, not quite. It was never there, so it can't be gone.
Well, what do you mean? Now, stop talking around in bushes.
What?
I mean beating in around in circles. No, you know what I mean.
Well, it's very simple. Someone made a mistake on that map. It wasn't 200,000 pounds in English money. It was 2,000 pounds. $10,000, roughly.
Well, how do you know?
I'm quite sure of it. However, there is enough in this sack to buy Jimmy's mother a house, and that's what really counts, doesn't it?
Oh, I suppose so. All this trouble for $10,000.
Oh, it's going to look like $1 million to my mother, Mr. White.
And now what about this black-bearded bandit? What about Pierre and the two no-good dwarfs?
I will take the whole kit and caboodle of them back to town and turn them over to the sheriff.
Well, what about the two in the cave? The good ones?
Oh, they're coming back with us to Metropolis.
What?
I'm going to get them jobs in my aunt's circus.
Good boy, Jim.
Well, let's get started then. I want a hot bath, a decent bed to sleep in, and no more excitement for a year.
Well, the bath and the bed we can guarantee, Chief, but the excitement's another matter. There's no telling when that's going to crop up.
Yes, Clark, you're right. There is no telling. In fact, even at this very moment, something is happening in Metropolis that will make your Northwoods adventure seem like child's play. A new and much greater danger is slowly taking shape and form. Someone very close to you is in the shadow of death.
We'll return in a moment to find out what the danger is and whom it is about to strike. But first, here's your announcer.
You know, Pep Gang, it seems easy to get the full second series of 4-colored insignia and warplane buttons that come in packages of Kellogg's Pep. Of course, you know that there are 8 Army Air Squadron insignia, 3 Marine insignia, 7 Navy insignia, and 4 warplane buttons. 22 sparkling buttes in all, each one a real eye-catcher. Boy, what really swell prizes they are. Dramatic looking, with brilliant designs that sure do stand out against a pure white background. For instance, one favorite of mine is that bright blue eagle flying into white clouds and carrying death-dealing red bombs. That's the insignia of the 70th Bombardment Squadron, and it's sure a honey. Now, there's only one way to get these smart-looking Kellogg's Pep buttons. You can't buy them anywhere. They come only in packages of Kellogg's Pep. You don't send in a penny, not even a box top. You just make sure that Mom gets a good supply of Pep for your house. Kellogg's Pep, that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal that's so good to eat and so good for you. Then you look inside each package for your prize, a smart-looking insignia or warplane button. You'll find the button at the bottom of the package in between the carton and the inner wax bag. It's your prize from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. While Superman was winding up the mystery of the North Woods, a strange scene boding serious danger for the Man of Steel and his friends is taking place. In Playland, an amusement park on the outskirts of Metropolis, a wooden conical structure built to resemble a small lighthouse stands beside the concession known as the River of Horrors. Inside the false lighthouse is a single dark circular room, windowless and lit dimly by one shaded lamp. In an armchair beside the lamp sits a heavy-set, middle-aged man, dressed in well-tailored clothes and wearing a massive signet ring glittering on his right hand. His few remaining thin gray hairs are combed carefully across a large, well-shaped head, and in appearance he could well pass for a prosperous banker or doctor. Now his regular but heavy features are set in a twisting scowl, and his deeply pouched small eyes, set under almost hairless brows,
flash angry fire at the pretty dark-haired girl who sits in a chair across from him, her manicured fingers playing nervously with strings of cheap pearls which fall in many loops over a flashy red dress. She's waiting for another outburst from the heavy-set man, and soon it comes.
You're a fool, Dixie. Stupid, ignorant fool. Wouldn't endanger all of us. I'd willingly turn you over to the police. That you pay for your stupidity in the electric chair.
Please don't talk that way, Dr. Bly. I couldn't help what I'd done. When this dumb dick makes a pass at me,
You shot him. You shot a federal officer. You know what that means?
Yeah, sure. But I had to leave him have it. When I saw this dick waiting for me in the hotel lobby, and he says to me like the jig is up, Miss Dixie Lamar, I believe. Well, I just lost my head.
Yes, obviously.
Well, I had my gun in my bag, and my hand just naturally pulled it out, and, well, I left him have it.
With a dozen people in the lobby to see you and identify you. How many times have I told you not to carry a gun? And haven't I drilled into you that if you're ever arrested to go along peaceably?
Yeah, I know. Doc, I lost my head.
Your head would be no great loss. It's my head that's in danger now. And others who are valuable to me. If the police get you, I'm ruined. Ruined, do you understand?
How about me? I'm the one with the murder rap. I'm the one who'll burn if they nab me.
A small loss indeed. Oh, why did I ever get mixed up with an empty head like you?
Because you needed me to help you catch the suckers for your phony oil stock racket, that's why. I did my share. Now you've got to get me out of this mess.
Yes, of course, but how? We can't keep you locked up in this amusement park for more than another week. Closes for the season on the 15th, you know.
It does. Gee, what'll we do?
Hi, Gates.
Who's that?
Take it easy, relax. It's me.
Oh, it's only Happy.
What's the idea, Happy? Why didn't you give the knock before you unlocked the door?
Hold everything, Doctor. I got no time for knocking on doors. Me, I'm cooking with gas. Did I say gas? I mean that stuff in the atom bombs. What I mean is I'm hot, see?
Look, this ain't no time for jitterbug and jive, Happy.
We're in trouble. Serious trouble.
Ain't I hip to that, boss? Sure I am. So that's why I'm waltzing in with this.
With what?
This newspaper here. Dig what you see here. Dig it good, Jackson.
Will you stop waving that newspaper in front of my face, you oaf?
Go on, Doctor. Dig that paper. Look at the dream puss right there. See? Who does she look like, huh?
Where?
Right there.
Good heavens. They've got a picture of Dixie in the Daily Planet.
My picture? No, they couldn't.
Relax, sister. Let your hair down. You too, Doctor. What's left of your hair, I mean. Read what it says under the picture of the slick chick. Go on.
Miss Lois Lane, star reporter of the Daily Planet, to her address.
Lois Lane.
This isn't Dixie.
It ain't? Let me see.
Of course it ain't, but this newspaper, Dolly's a dead ringer for you, baby. I says to myself when I see it, I says, this is schmaltzy. There ought to be something here, Happy, old mellow man. Show it to the doc, the big-time operator. He's smart. He'll dig the lowdown on it, I says.
Miss Lois Lane is a double for you, Dixie.
Yeah. I'd swear she was me.
Yes. So will all those witnesses who saw you shoot the federal man. I've got it.
Got what, Doc?
You dig something, Jackson?
I see the way out of our difficulty. Yes. All our troubles are over. Why, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Chuckling, the man known as Dr. Bly looks gloatingly at the photograph of Lois Lane in the Daily Planet. What is in his cunning mind? What sinister scheme is he preparing for the unsuspecting Lois?
Fellows and girls, don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode when we begin a fascinating new story which will try the strength and powers of Superman to the limit. Tune in, same time, same station for The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System. Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, and today, as we begin our brand new adventure for the Man of Steel, a cunning trap is being set for the girl reporter Lois Lane. While Superman was solving the strange mystery of the dwarfs in the North Woods, a sinister plot was being prepared against Lois Lane. In danger because one of his criminal gang, a girl called Dixie Lamar, has shot and killed a federal agent,
Dr. Bly, leader of the gang, was hiding out with Dixie and Happy, one of his henchmen, in an amusement park in Metropolis. The situation looked hopeless until he saw a photograph of Lois Lane in the Daily Planet. Then the cunning brain of Dr. Bly conceived a daring scheme. As we continue now, in the imitation lighthouse which fronts the River of Horrors concession at the amusement park, the middle-aged, distinguished-looking gang leader who has been gazing at Lois's picture suddenly exclaims,
This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Dixie, your worthless life is saved. And all our troubles are over.
Oh, yeah? I don't get it. What gives?
What's the pitch, Doc? Come on, beat it out.
I imagine even you, Happy, have heard it said that everyone has a double somewhere in the world. Someone else who looks exactly like him or her.
Like doubles in the movies.
Exactly. Your double, Dixie, is right here in Metropolis.
Huh? You mean this reporter, Lois Lane?
Right. Look at her photo. Don't you think she's a dead ringer for Dixie?
Yeah.
So what? Just because she looks like me, I don't
Hey,
see
wait. I think I dig you, Doc. You mean we tip the cops this Lane dilly as Dixie, and before they have that they've got the wrong tomato, we make a getaway, huh?
Well, you almost guessed it, Happy, but you didn't go far enough. We grab Miss Lane and pass her off to the police as Dixie. But we don't stop there. We make it stick.
Huh?
Simply by proving that Miss Lane, who was a double for Dixie Lamar, murdered the federal officer. Then Miss Lane goes to the chair, and we can proceed with the big plans I've arranged for us.
Gee, Duck, you're wonderful.
Wait a minute. Hold it. I don't dig you. You say we prove Miss Lane really is Dixie?
Precisely.
Well, how are we going to do that?
Say, that's right, we can't. All Miss Lane has to do is identify herself and the jig is up.
Oh, no, it's not quite so simple.
Sure it is. She's an important dame. As soon as she proves she's Miss Lane, she'll have a million foolproof alibis.
And me, I'm back in the chair again.
Just leave everything to me. I have a plan, and it can't fail.
Come on, give. What's this big caper you're cooking?
Yeah, after all, I'm the one who's
It
gonna...
will be better if you just do as I tell you and learn about it as the plan develops. And there won't be any danger of leaks. Or of Dixie losing her stupid head again.
Oh, lay off, will you, please?
What do you want us to do, Doc?
The first thing to do is to get Miss Lane down here, and as soon as possible. The FBI and the police are combing Metropolis for Dixie, and we've got to move fast.
Leave that to me, boss. I'll bring it to you.
No, not your way, Happy. It's too cruel. Let me see. Something occurred to me before. Oh, yes. I have it. Dixie.
Yeah?
There's a phone book there. Look up the number of the Daily Planet.
Okay. That's a newspaper, huh?
Yes. Now, Happy, that brother-in-law of yours, the one who owns this River of Horrors concession, how far can he be trusted?
Archie, he's strictly a solid sender.
If I translate that silly jive talk correctly, you mean he can be trusted, right?
You hear me talking? And besides, he don't dare cross me up on account he knows if he just tried.
Spare me the horrific details. Haven't you found the number yet, Dixie?
Yeah. Here it is, Doc. Daily Planet, Central 20400.
Central 20400. Good. Get it for me.
Okay.
While I'm talking, both of you keep quiet. Understand?
Great. If Dixie just opens her kisser, I'll slap it shut for her.
You just lay a finger on me, you daffy jitterbug, and I'll...
Shut up, you fools. Give me that phone.
Daily Planet.
I'd like to speak with Miss Lois Lane.
Just a minute. I'll ring her.
Remember, not a word out of you two.
Lois Lane speaking.
Miss Lane, this is the press agent for Playland, the famous amusement park, you know?
Playland? Oh, yes.
You probably know that we have celebrity nights here several times a month, at which time we select the outstanding man or woman in his or her particular field or profession.
Really?
Yes. We name the night in their honor and present this celebrity to the great crowd at Playland.
I see.
Permit them to see the famous person they've read and heard so much about. Now, for tonight, Miss Lane, we've selected you.
Well, that's fine. I think that... Who, me?
Yes. We've chosen you as the outstanding newspaper reporter of Metropolis, and we hereby invite you to Lois Lane night at Playland.
Well, that's quite an honor, but I...
No, don't be so modest, Miss Lane. Everyone has heard about you and is anxious to see you. Now, I realize we're not giving you much advance notice, but we do hope you can arrange to be here tonight to meet your loyal public.
I'm certainly very flattered, Mr.
Hemingway, Robert Hemingway.
Mr. Hemingway, but I have an engagement for this evening.
I'm sure you can postpone your engagement for such an important occasion as this, Miss Lane. You have no idea how much you're admired and respected.
Oh, now.
And how eager the young people are to see you, especially those who hope to be journalists and follow in your footsteps. Your appearance will be a great inspiration to them.
Well, when you put it that way, it's hard to refuse.
You'll appear tonight, then.
Well, yes, I'll be there.
That's splendid. I'll send a car.
That won't be necessary. Now that gas restrictions are lifted, I'm driving my own car again. What time do you want me there?
Shall we say 8 o'clock?
Good, I'll be there at 8. And thank you very much, Mr. Hemingway.
Thank you, Miss Lane. I'll meet you at the park gate at 8 o'clock. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It worked, huh, boss?
She fell for the gag?
They went for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, boy, are you a smoothie, Doc. Yeah, but look it. What are you going to do when she gets here?
I am going to arrange that now. Come on, Happy.
Okay, boss.
Yeah.
You
but
stay here,
what
Dixie.
about-
Don't dare try to leave this room.
Don't worry. With every cop in Metropolis looking for me, I wouldn't poke my nose out of this phony lighthouse for love or money.
We'll take no chances. Lock the door, Happy.
Okay, Doc.
Now, take him to your brother-in-law.
Sure, this way. He's around in front of the ticket booth.
His small, deeply pouched eyes gleaming in his heavy, colorless face, Dr. Bly follows Happy through the gay crowds to set his trap for Lois Lane.
We'll return in a moment for the climax of today's episode. But first, here again is our good friend.
Say, Pep Gang, just close your eyes a minute and imagine that you have all the air squadron insignia and warplane buttons you could possibly want. Wouldn't that be terrific? Well, of course, there aren't that many, naturally, but there are 22 new ones in the Kellogg's Pep second series that I'll bet'll make your eyes pop. Brilliant four-colored Army, Navy, and Marine air squadron insignia and warplane buttons. Yes, gang, they're really something. You know, kids everywhere are writing me saying what a great kick they get out of swapping these impressive-looking buttons. They like the way the red, black, blue, and yellow colors stand out against the pure white enameled background when they wear them on their caps, sweaters, or jackets. There's no question about it, gang. These Kellogg's Pep buttons are getting more popular every day. But as I told you before, you can't buy these snazzy buttons anywhere. Nope, they come only in packages of Kellogg's Pep. You needn't send in a single penny, not even a box top. All you do is to see to it that Mom puts in a good supply of Kellogg's Pep at your house. Then you look in the packages for your prizes. Now, there's a prize for you in every package of Kellogg's Pep, right there in the bottom of the package. An Army, Navy, or Marine Air Squadron insignia or warplane button. You'll find the button between the carton and the inner wax bag. It's a prize for you from P.E.P. Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman.
Shortly after Lois Lane had accepted Dr. Bly's invitation to be guest of honor at Playland that evening, Clark Kent, Perry White, and Jimmy Olsen returned to the Daily Planet from the Maine woods. In Lois's office now, with Kent looking on, Jimmy is completing a vivid description of their experiences to the girl reporter.
And Peter and Paul, they're the bad dwarfs, are in jail with Pierre and Salvador. And Jacob and Esau...
They're the good dwarfs, Jim.
That's right. They're on their way to my Aunt Isabel and Cousin Ginger's circus. I got 'em jobs there. And get this, Miss Lane. Mr. White gave me all the buried treasure. It comes to almost $10,000.
Why, Jim.
And I'm going to build or buy a house for my mother with it.
Well...
Pretty nice of the chief, eh, Lois?
It certainly is, Clark. But I don't understand this. I thought the map said there was $1 million in buried treasure, and Jim's share was to be 1/4 of it.
Well, the pirates, or whoever buried the treasure in Pirates' Cove a long time ago, either made a mistake in counting, or else they came back and removed most of the treasure after they'd buried it.
Oh.
What's happened with you while we were gone, Lois? Anything exciting?
Well, I didn't get a scoop while you were gone, but something else very nice happened to me.
It did?
What's that, Lois?
Oh, that would be telling. You'll find out in due time.
Oh, come on, tell us, Miss Lane.
Not yet.
Prefer to be mysterious, huh?
Uh-huh. But I'll tell you this much, Clark.
What?
When you find out about it, you'll realize that you're not as great a reporter as you think you are.
Is that so? Well, now, what makes you say
Just
that?
a minute, excuse me, that's my phone. Lois Lane
Mr.
speaking.
Kent there, Miss Lane?
Yes, he is.
Please tell him Mr. White wants to see him right away.
Okay, certainly. Chief wants you, Clark.
Oh, thanks. Don't go away. I want to hear more about this mysterious business.
Oh, now, come on, Miss Lane. Tell me what gives.
I'll tell you what, though, Jim. I'll give you a chance to find out.
What do you mean?
How would you like to go to Playland this evening?
Playland?
Mhm.
Oh, sure, you bet. They got a terrific giant roller coaster there, and Uh-oh, I forgot. I got a date with Dick Grayson.
Dick Grace? Oh, the boy we found in the boat that time.
That's right. Dick's a swell guy, but every time I tell him something about Superman, he comes back at me with something he heard or read about Batman.
Oh, Jim.
So when we landed at the airport this afternoon, I called him up and made a date to have dinner with him tonight. When I tell him what Superman did up in the North Woods, maybe he'll pipe down about Batman for a while.
I see. Well, look. Maybe Dick would like to come to Playland with us.
Hey, I'll bet he would. I'll tell you what. I'm supposed to meet him at the Y in a few minutes.
Yes?
We were going to take a swim and then go to dinner. Why don't I get him and meet you for dinner? Oh, of course, you'll be our guest.
Well, we'll argue about the guest part later. You go ahead. You get Dick and meet me downstairs in 15 minutes. I'll pick up my car first.
Okay. Gee, that's swell, Miss Lane.
Hey, what's all the
Oh, I can't tell you now. See you later, Mr. Kent.
What the... What goes on here, Lois?
I haven't time to explain, Clark. I've got to rush, too.
Wait a minute. What's the hurry? Big day?
Oh, if you only knew.
I only knew what? What is all this mystery tonight?
You'll find out.
You said that before,
And
but
I say it again. So long, Clark.
Oh, so long.
See you in jail.
Yeah, sure. You'll see me... What?
Jail. You know, the place with the iron bars and the men in blue coats and brass buttons. So long.
Oh, wait, Lois. Look, I want to know what... Well, now, how do you like that? What in the world goes on here, I wonder?
Perplexed, Kent takes a step as if to follow Lois, then changes his mind, unaware that he is permitting Lois and Jimmy also to walk into serious danger. The sinister jaws of Dr. Bly's trap are about to snap shut. Will they catch Lois? And what of Jimmy and Dick Grayson, who is in reality Robin, youthful companion of the famous Batman? There are thrills and excitement ahead, fellows and girls, so don't miss a single episode of our new story. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, and listen to The Adventures of Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.